Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. It is Tips and Tricks Tuesday and I have finished the tips and tricks video on Starjoy Gold combinations. These are combinations that come pre-selected in your Starjoy Gold set. Now it's time for a hug. So we are doing the mermaid hug and this is hug number 96. And we will, of course, be doing them with the Starjoy Gold because they are our featured pencil for the week. So we will be finishing this with the Starjoy Gold. I have some colors picked out. These are not a combination that is in the Starjoy Gold combinations. This is just colors I picked out because they're the colors I want to use, which you can definitely do with the Starjoy Gold. Now I'm going to switch on over to the close-up camera so that we can get started. So I'm going to start with the lightest color. I'm going to do them in opposing colors. So I'm going to do one with some blues. So this is blue cotton, which is number 66. And we're going to just very lightly I'll put a layer of this blue color on her tail. We're not going to do them too many funky colors in their skin tones because I want to see how well the skin tones deal with a lighter skin tones than the tanned fellows that we did yesterday. Now the only thing I'm finding with the Starjoy Golds on this paper is that you don't have enough tooth to put as many layers down as you would like, so the tones sometimes are a little bit more muted than you want. So be careful of that if you're going to be using your Starjoy Golds for your hug. But my Starjoys are getting some good use out of them. Alright. And of course, the sun has decided to come out, so now everything is all blurry. Let's get you focused in there. Sorry, guys. And let's give you a little less light, a little more contrast so you can actually see what I'm doing. And there we go. That's a little better. Going to fix that and fix this. There, that's a little better. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, the sun has decided to come out, and every once in a while it peeks in through that window behind me and lights everything up on my desk, including my camera views. So basically all I'm doing is I'm just blanket coloring this light blue color on here. I'm not going to do tip to tip blend on this. Like, I'm not going to color one part and then add the next color to the edge of it. I'm going to do an on top coloring on this because of the fact that this paper doesn't take a lot of color. So I'm just trying to get as much color down as possible. So the next color I'm going to use is Outrage. Interesting name for a color. And we're going to go through and color the scales and the edges of the scales with it. Not coloring the whole scale, just the edges of them. I'm not worried about the shadow areas yet. I've got another color for that. So I'm just getting into the scale itself with some of that color. Leaving some of that light blue there for the highlights. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Suddenly got a horrible tickle in my throat and swallowed the wrong way, and now I'm going to end up sneezing. Hopefully it will just subside and go away. So this part here, where it's the lightest area here, of course is going to be the area that you want to leave the most of your light blue, because it's this part that's getting hit with that light source that the artist has put in there. I hope you all enjoyed the Tips and Tricks Tuesday video. I'm learning the star joys just as you are, so I figured, well, as I'm learning them, let's talk about them. Let's play with them together. So as you can see, I'm in contrast to the video I just did on tips and tricks, using the combinations that are in the setup of the Starjoy Golds. I have made my own combination, and to show you that you don't have to follow exactly what they say. You can grab your color wheel and say, okay, I want this combination, or I want these colors to be put together, or this color looks really nice next to this color. You don't have to, by any means, ever follow anybody's combinations. You can make up your own. That is fully acceptable. I do it all the time. And as I have said many, many, many times, for any colorist, your best friend is your color wheel. Sometimes you get to a point where you can look at the color and know where it sits on the color wheel, but sometimes you just need to check. You need to look. I keep my color wheel on my desk or in the drawer next to my desk, but somewhere where it's easily accessible at all times. Well, it seems my dog has something in her throat too. It's contagious. Charlotte's sitting on the sofa going hack, hack, hack. I think she was a smoker or something with the amount she coughs lately. I had her checked out by the vet. The vet says there's nothing wrong with her. She's just hamming it up. Alright, so we've got that in there. Now we're going to go in with aquamarine, and we're going to do our dark areas. So underneath the other mermaid's hand here, down the sides. I'm just putting in heavy layers in these areas. Now I'm not pressing heavily, I'm just repeating layer after layer over top of each other to get the color I want in those areas. If you press too hard, you just end up killing the tooth of the paper, and this paper doesn't have enough tooth to do that with, and still think you're going to get more color on there. So just go over it and keep going over it until you get to the color that you want it to be. Keep turning my pencil, as you've probably noticed, to maintain that point on the pencil. Otherwise it gets too dull, and that bugs me. So I just keep turning my pencil, and that way it gives me that point, maintains that point for me. Now if you find that your pencil is getting too dull, of course, you can sharpen it. Now I'm going through and I'm just getting underneath that little corner where the scales overlap a little bit. I'm going to sharpen my pencil because I need it a little bit sharper than it's at, so that I can get deeper into those corners without smudging too much into the other colors that are already there. Without taking away from those. Once I get this color in, then I'll go back and I'll readjust the other colors so that they're a little bit darker, but not darker than the dark colors here. So basically all I'm doing is I'm just making sure that the shadow of the scale above is showing through. Like so. Alright, it's going to come in a little bit. Now in this area down here, it's quite dark all the way down except for this little area here. So I'm just going to randomly make sure that certain ones are darker than others. Because we've got a lot of dark down that edge there. Just make sure that I get all that color in there for that shadow on the curvature of her tail. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to do her fins. And then we're going to come in here and do her tail. I'm just following the lines on her tail, especially the dark shadowy areas of the curve of her tail. Like so. Let's make sure that I'm in this green. I'm going to blanket color in here where the shadow is. Follow that out. Same with up in here. Alright. Now we're going to go back over with a little bit of this green. Just going to darken it up just a little bit in some of the deeper shadowy areas. And this is Outrage. A funny color for an aquatic green color. Funny names. Alright, and then we're going to take our light blue again. And we're just going to blanket color everything very, very, very lightly. Be careful that you don't put too heavy a hand on it, because you will tear your paper. Basically, all we're doing at this point is we're just filling in any bit of gap with the lightest color so that it looks like a light reflection. Like so. Then we're going to do the same thing on her tail. Just going to coat that with that blue. It'll look good, I promise. I hope it'll look good. I never know until it's done, and then I hate it all, so. There, I think she's pretty good. Now we're going to take the darkest color here, and we're going to do her seashell. And the medium color, and we'll do the band that's holding on her seashell, like so. Alright, now we're going to do her skin tone. So we're going to use light peach. Could have swore there was a darker color. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. That's this one. So we're going to start off with 85. I'm going to start off with 85, and we're going to start on her shadow areas first with a bit of the gray violet. And I'm just going into the areas that are going to be shadowed by her body or by her friend here. Okay. And just when you think you have all the shadows in there, another one shows you. There we go. I think so. I think that's about it. There we go. There are our shadows. Now we're going to take our deepest color, which is peach, and we're just going to come off of those shadows. Into the darkest part of her face. Making sure that I go over top of the purple so that it gets blended into the skin tone. Trying to make sure that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. And actually get these two colors to sit on top of each other and build each other up. Alright. I think that's it for the darker zones. Now with the skin tones, I am building that color so that it's on not on top of each other, but attached to each other. The only one that I'm really putting right on top of each other is the peachy tone, the darker skin tone and the gray for the shadows, just to blend that gray out and bleed it, like tone down that color a little bit. Now I'm going through and I'm just adding those lighter areas. Once again, just going over it a few times, make sure I get the color I want. Alright. And then I'm going to take this flesh tone and I'm just going to color over the entire thing. Just give it a little bit of this pink overtone. Trying not to scrape off the other colors. It's the only problem with this paper, with using a pencil that requires so much layering, is the tooth doesn't hold it, so when you go over it sometimes it'll scrape it right off. Now we're going to take a little bit of Ryla. We're going to take a bit of this pink color and do her lips like that. And then we're going to do her hair in the same colors that the other girl's tail is going to be. So we're going to use Himalayan pink, coral salmon, and peach orange. I think the salmon is the lightest color, which is number 6. No, number 69 is. So we're going to start with that, which is the 69. Try to avoid the bobbles and stuff in her hair. So I'm just doing a blanket color of the lightest tone, the lightest color here. And of course we'll do the same thing on the other mermaid. We'll be using the same colors that I'm using right now. And then the other mermaid's hair, we'll do the same colors as the tail. On this one. So I'm not worried too much about any shadows or anything like that right now. I'm just getting that color on there. I'll come back through with the other colors and put in those shadows and shades and all that fun stuff. Alright, so there's our base coat. Now we're going to go in with the next color. And I'm going to sharpen this because it's hair. We need to have a bit of a point on the hair colors. so that we don't end up with huge chunks of hair that is the wrong color. So I'm just going through and I'm just coloring all the way up the shaft. I'm not doing a whole lot of flicking because, well, it's really, really tiny hair, and no matter how sharp I get this pencil, flicking sometimes won't help it. So I am leaving some of that light color. So many curls. Oh, sorry if I go quiet. Just went and zoned out on you. Sorry. Just trying to follow the hair. You ever do that when you're trying to color hair or trying to color something that has all sorts of little wiggly lines? You're trying to follow the lines and just end up zoning out. We're just giving her some happy hair. Wonderful peachy color. Make her all pretty. Alright, so there's our medium tone, and I'm going to sharpen up the dark tone now. And this is orange peach, or peach orange, whichever way you want to say it. And we're going to go into the deepest, darkest areas here. So the areas with the most shadowing. The most overlap, and you know, all that fun stuff. The first time I've ever colored peach hair. I figure it's about the same as coloring any other color. Work from your lightest to your darkest. Put the shadows in. And listen to my dog hack up a hairball. Alright, now we're going to take this pink, red pink, and we're going to do the starfish, just because I like the red pink color. And the pearls. And there is our first mermaid done. I think I need a little bit more of that darker color up in here. Wish the sun would come out and stay out instead of going back and forth, back and forth. Make up its mind. Like so. Just trying to make sure that I give enough color but still leave enough highlights. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. If I fuss with it too much, I'm going to end up tearing a hole in the page. Alright, so now we're going to start with the same colors we just did her hair. So we're going to go with 6, 9, and 69. So where's my 6? There it is. So once again, we're going to start with number 6 down here on her tail. Let's move you up here so you can see. This is just the lightest color. Alright. And then we're going to go with the medium color, which is 69, which is Himalayan pink. I'm going to sharpen it up because I need it nice and sharp to get into these areas. I'm just going through and doing the bottoms of the scales. Not too concerned about the really dark area ones here because they're going to be done with a darker tone, darker color. Same kind of color, just darker. Okay. So I hope you are all going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving and that you have some great plans with your families. I will be putting out my Thankful Thursday video on Thanksgiving. However, I might have to record it beforehand because I got so much to do. I have so much to do and don't want to do any of it. And of course, just a quick reminder, my husband is going to be home for the rest of the week, so you may hear him in the background. Alright. Just gonna get down into here. Alright. And then we're going to go in with our orange peach. And we're going to do the dark areas here. Just do a couple of layers to make it nice and dark. Just go back and forth over top of it until it's to the color you want it to be. Trying not to press too hard because I don't want to tear the paper and I don't want to kill the tooth. But still trying to put on enough layers for this light color to show the darker color I want it to show. Because that's how mermaids roll. Their scales change color when the light's not hitting them. Usually a darker color than what they already show, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Now we're going to color these fins. And then we're going to go into her tail. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go back over it with number 6. Which is right here, I think. Yeah. Go back over everything with number 6. Getting those highlight colors in there. And going over the tail with her number 6 as well. Getting that color in there. Like so. Okay. Now we're going to do her skin. So now we need the shadows on her skin. Like so. Make sure I get all of them. There, I think that's it. And then we're going to take the darker tone here, which is peach. Going right over top of that great purple there. And extending the shadows out. Now, because there's so little of her skin showing, I'm just basically going over everything with that peach, and then I'll go over it all with the skin tone, the flesh. This is the light peach. And then flesh. Where is flesh? There it is. I'm just blending it all together. And then we're going to take that pink and we're just going to do her lips like that. And then we're going to do her hair. And we're going to start with the blue. Make sure you don't color the coral or the shells, which are right here. Just blanket coloring the whole thing, making sure that I get into the smaller details. Alright, so we're almost all finished hug number 96. Of course, tomorrow is 97, and come Friday we'll have 99, and then by Sunday we will be all finished this book. An entire book. I've never finished a book, so this will be my first whole book done. I'm quite proud of myself because usually I get bored by now and just say, nope, I'm done. But I stuck to it. Alright, now we're going to go in with our medium tone. Just getting as many of those curvatures as I can. Alright. So I hope you're looking forward to tomorrow, which is Work in Progress Wednesday. And we're going to finish off the Gnome's Pantry. I have been working on it a little bit, but I want to finish it off with you guys. So that is what we will be working on tomorrow. Well, that and a hug. Alright, now we're going to take the dark color and we're just going to fill in all the darkest areas. Like so. Quite a few little dark areas in here. Alright, just zoning out on the hair. I gotta stop doing that, just zoning out. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about. Yeah. I see you guys see me every day. This is my life. Maybe I need to stop putting out content every day so I can actually have something that I haven't told you already. Yeah, that would be, what fun would that be? Instead you guys get to giggle at me zoning out. It sounds like more fun anyway. Alright, and then we're going to go back over it with the blue and fill in those highlights. And then we're going to take creamsicle, and we're going to do with the seashell here with the light creamsicle color, and then we're going to look for an actual orange. I know there's one in here. There it is. I'm going to sharpen it up. And we're going to put some orange in that seashell. And into the coral. Like that. Then we'll take this one and fill it in. There we go. And there we have our mermaids. They're so pretty. Alright, I'm going to switch you over to the main camera here so you can see the two mermaids that we have colored. And I'm going to grab my pen, and I got my pen out from under my out from between my desks, so I was able to get this one back. Yay! And it's November. I almost put October again. November 23rd, 2021. And this is hug. How do you spell hug? With a chair. Hug number 96. We have hug number 96 all finished up. And that is our mermaid hug. Alright guys, so tomorrow's hug is going to be the Jack and Jill hug. I love this hug. It's so cute. So we will be coloring that hug tomorrow, and that one on Thursday, and that one on Friday. And then we have the harpies on Saturday, and Sunday is Mummy Son hug. So those are our hugs of the day. Coming up and finishing off this book. Alright guys, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the hug of the day, and this is sent out to each and every one of you that needs a good, warm, squishy, fishy hug. Alright guys, until next time, thank you all very much for watching. Of course, join me live tomorrow for Work in Progress Wednesday, and of course, keep an eye open for all things Thursday and Fun Stuff Friday. Until then, bye-bye for now.